In the last few years, I've built up a pretty good reputation for myself as the guy who makes YouTube videos about cocktail bars. This is my area of expertise. I spent my entire life in this industry. But now you're telling me there's a couple of YouTubers with no industry experience whatsoever who just opened up their own cocktail bar? No, unacceptable. This is my niche. I need to stand my ground and tear these meatballs down. There's just one problem. It's pretty fucking good. If you're new here and I've successfully clickbaited you into watching this video, hi, welcome. My name is Jake and I make videos about cocktail bars. Now I know you're eager to hear what I think about Lost, but that's not exactly how we do things around here. Shibuya has a lot of amazing bars, and it's my duty to show you those bars. Which is great because if you're going to Lost, it's very likely that you'll be in for a long wait. I'm just trying to give you some options. We'll get back here eventually. So stick around, open up your mind, and let me show you something new. If you're talking about cocktail bars in Shibuya, then there's two names that come straight to mind: the Bellwood and SG Club. These are two bars that I've featured many times on this channel before, so I'm going to be a little bit brief here. But know this, these are not just the best bars in the neighborhood, but they're easily some of the best bars in the country. The Bellwood is the perfect mix of old school charm, modern innovation, good drinks, and great service. Their cocktail menu is exceptional, the vibes are immaculate, and they have a hidden sushi omakase in the back that might actually be my favorite meal I've ever had in Japan. They also have a very delicious and fun izakaya right next door called BW Cave. Similar vibes and cocktail styles, but with a bit more focus on food. A couple minutes walk away from the Bellwood is the SG Club, one of the original bars in one of the industry's biggest global empires. The SG Group has bars in Tokyo, Okinawa, Shanghai, Hong Kong, New York, Madrid, but this is one of the originals. 3 floors, 3 different bars, all of them incredible. On the bottom floor is Sip, a very intimate and extremely avant-garde cocktail bar. Definitely the place to go if you want a more technique-driven cocktail experience, a place for nerds like me. The main floor is Guzzle, a much more lively tavern-style bar with more of a focus on reinvented classic cocktails. And on the top floor is Sangai, a reservations-only seasonal cocktail omakase that will absolutely blow your socks off. A bit pricey, but worth every penny. If you want to know more about these bars, you can check out my other videos linked in the description. But the reason I bring them up in this video is because they both have other affiliated bars in Shibuya that are definitely worth talking about. Starting with Summerfall. If you're coming to Summerfall, just know that you're not going to be in for a normal cocktail experience. The drinks menu here is designed by the Bellwood, so you know it's going to be high quality. And while yes, this is a cocktail bar, it feels more like a brew pub because every single cocktail that they serve is on tap. Now I know a lot of people prefer to see their drink being made, and that's understandable, but having drinks on tap is good for a number of reasons. Firstly, it ensures consistent quality across the board no matter who's making the cocktail. It also increases speed, meaning drinks come out faster, and it enables staff to focus on customer interaction instead of being locked in on making drinks. I think every neighborhood should have a bar like this. The drinks are affordable, they come out fast, and they're super high quality. So it's a great place to post up for a session or for a quick hit and run on your way from one bar to another. You can pop in, grab a drink, and be on your way in minutes. Sounds good to me. SG Low is an izakaya run by the same people behind the SG Club. I know, you would have never been able to figure that out based on name alone. That's why I'm here, I've got the expert knowledge. It's a modern izakaya, but with a bit more emphasis put into the cocktail program. Normally at an izakaya you get your draft beer, some sake, and a couple of standard highball offerings like lemon sours or whiskey sodas. But the highballs here are elevated in a way that makes it very obvious that this is an izakaya run by a cocktail group. The drinks have that classic SG group flair with some thoughtful touches that don't go crazy overboard. Think things like Szechuan peppercorn infused spirits to pair with spicier dishes, or dill infusions to pair with seafood. Or my favorite, which was a spice infused highball with beer reduction meant to pair with fried food. They've got other cocktails too, and a great selection of beer and sake. And the food is amazing as well. Similar to the cocktails where they take standard concepts you'd expect from an izakaya, but with a modern twist. And the best part is, most of the drinks are under 1,000 yen. So if you're looking for a place with great drinks, great food, and affordable prices, this is the spot. Swig is the type of bar I'd be coming to if I was feeling homesick. It feels exactly like a typical neighborhood cocktail bar straight out of Toronto or Melbourne. A little bit divey and yet classy at the same time, cozy, no frills, just good quality drinks, great vibes, and friendly service. The type of bar you become a regular at. The menu's super simple, well-made classics with a couple of little twists like a penicillin milk punch or an Earl Grey gin fizz. And a riff on one of the all-time great Australian cocktails of whiskey and fresh apple juice. Of course there's a whiskey apple on the menu. It is run by a bunch of Aussie expats after all. Melbourne and Toronto are both amazing cocktail cities with a great selection of low-key neighborhood cocktail bars, and Swig could easily stand with the best of them. And yet somehow it also feels right at home in Shibuya as well. Barbolla has a sort of makeshift charm to it. It looks like someone just found a building, set up a bar as quick as possible, and just started making drinks. And honestly, I kind of like that. Focus on the things that matter most, the drinks and the hospitality. And both of those are exceptional. The drinks menu feels very French inspired with a lot of Calvados, French cider, and of course, absinthe. If you've never had a proper absinthe drip in your life, trust me, it is one of the all-time great drinks. It's also got a bit of a listening bar vibe to it, which is a huge trend these days. There's a vinyl player behind the bar hooked up to a set of gigantic speakers. I love a good listening bar, and Tokyo does it better than anyone. This is a great, super chill escape from the chaos of Shibuya that feels like you've been invited into someone's home. If you're looking for a bar that isn't afraid to get a little adventurous, then Liquid Factory is the place you want to be. They call it a factory, but it's actually more like a science lab, with a wide array of fancy gadgets for doing fun experiments. There's a rotary evaporator for doing in-house distillation, a centrifuge, liquid nitrogen, you name it. They're doing some really cool and crazy stuff here, which is quite funny because on the opposite side of the spectrum, they're doing the most down-to-earth, homey thing you could possibly do, which is to make boozy milkshakes. Crazy experiments on one hand, milkshakes on the other, but somehow it just works. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun, and milkshakes might just be about the most fun thing on earth. Besides alcohol, of course. It's quite a small space with only 5 seats at the bar and a handful of tables, but the cocktail program punches well above its weight. I like how they're taking familiar flavors and twisting them around, like an old-fashioned that tastes like a Snickers bar, or a cocktail made with a croissant infusion. This is definitely a weird experience, but a very delicious one. There's so many great bars in Shibuya, if I were to include them all here, then this video would be like 2 hours long. And I would love to do that, but I can't right now because I have a reservation to get to. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely came into this with some preconceived notions about what I was getting myself into. When I heard that Chris and Charlotte were opening up a cocktail bar, my first thought was that this was a clearly misguided attempt at farming clout. You do not know what you're getting yourself into. But very quickly, I could tell that thankfully, I was wrong. Right off the bat, they have a rule. No filming or streaming in the bar unless you rent out the private room. And that, to me, shows that this is more than just a clout play. They actually care about creating a welcoming atmosphere for their guests. There is nothing more annoying than content creators creating content. You'll have to trust me on that one. So while that rule is fantastic and I absolutely support it, it just begs one question. What the fuck am I gonna do? Stop motion? Check this shit out. But seriously, how the hell am I gonna show off the bar? That's like the whole point of this video. I guess I'll start by talking about the private room itself. It's a very cozy space with its own separate sound system for you to play your own music and an amazing view of the street below. They really put a lot of thought into the space, and that's not just the private room. The whole bar is stunning. It's a beautiful design, and the subtle nods to iconic moments from the Abroad in Japan channel are a great touch. And it's not overbearing in the slightest. If you don't understand any of the references, you won't feel out of place. Things like this tend to be kitschy and over the top, but they kept it very subtle and well done here. I mean, I would love to show you what I'm talking about, but I'm stuck in this damn private room. Which leads to one of my biggest positives about my experience at Lost. The bar team is fucking fantastic. Every single person that I interacted with was extremely pleasant and enthusiastic, an absolute delight to deal with. It was clear that they enjoy working at this bar, and a bar with staff that are having fun makes the whole atmosphere of the venue that much more enjoyable. Also, some of them happen to watch this channel, so as I was getting ready to leave the private room, I was given special permission to film inside the bar, which is great because I secretly came a week earlier and filmed without them knowing. Oops. Don't take this as a sign that you can do the same. I've done this long enough so I know how to be discreet and unobtrusive. Don't be a piece of shit like me. Follow the damn rules. The last thing we need to talk about is the cocktails, and this is where things fall a little bit short for me. I personally like a cocktail menu to be weird and adventurous and experimental, and this menu isn't. And that's fine. It doesn't need to be. Not every menu needs to be suited specifically to my tastes. A lot of the clientele coming to this bar are not cocktail nerds like myself, so a menu with simple drinks that tend to be a bit sweeter is perfectly suited for the people that are coming here. And with all that being said, the drinks aren't bad, they're perfectly average. But the crazy thing is the price. I would have expected an influencer bar right in the heart of Shibuya to be pricing these drinks at 2,500 to 3,000 yen minimum. But there are some cocktails on this menu that are as low as 1,300 yen with an average price around 1,600 yen. Chris and Charlotte are in prime position to milk these suckers for half their net worth, but in keeping it affordable, again, shows me that they actually care. That being said, there's definitely room for improvement, but this is still a fantastic bar despite the cocktail quality. But hey, if you ever want to create a weird and fucked up menu that alienates 90% of your clientele, hit me up. I'd love to give you some ideas. Here's one off the top of my head. Redistilled tonkatsu broth old fashioned. And based on that example alone, you probably know why I don't have my own bar anymore. How about a Hojicha highball with umeboshi infused whiskey and yuzu beer foam? Okay, honestly, that one kind of sounds incredible. Sweet potato espresso martini with taiyaki custard foam. Okay. I gotta shut the fuck up and write these down because I think I'm onto something. And honestly, getting back on track, I've said this before, but in the hypothetical scenario where Bar A has amazing hospitality but below average drinks, and Bar B has below average hospitality but amazing drinks, I'm choosing Bar A every single time. Because people are what matter the most. Even if the drinks aren't great, I can still have an amazing time if I'm surrounded by great people. But if those people suck, but somehow make a great drink, I'm not going back to that bar. So Chris, Charla, and the whole team at Lost, you've done a fantastic job. Your bar is beautiful, the team is top-notch, and success is well-deserved. I am not jealous at all. But don't even think about opening another one. This is my territory. I run these streets. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm a washed-up has-been who's well past his prime. Okay, that's it. I'm done talking. You can go back to watching videos about street food now. Or maybe, just subscribe to my channel and watch more of my videos. That'd be pretty cool too.